Hi, I'm Jasma, and I'm making a turkey shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie is traditionally made with lamb. However, I'm switching up pretty much every aspect of the traditional shepherd's pie except for the structure. This recipe is really great if you want to use up any leftovers in the fridge, particularly after Thanksgiving, because this shepherd's pie is very forgiving to adjusting the quantity of ingredients and also what type of ingredients you use. To make this yourself, be sure to grab the full recipe from my blog, jasmafishandcuisine.com, and let's begin. To prepare my mashed sweet potato and squash topping, I'm peeling my sweet potato and buttercup squash, not to be confused with butternut squash, also removing the seeds. This will be boiled, so I'm cutting it up into chunks. And if you want to be precise, this is where you would measure out by weight how much of the squash and sweet potato you're using. Then transfer into a pot and fill with water until everything is fully submerged. Get this on the stove, turn the heat to high, and allow this to boil for around 10 minutes until everything is fork tender. In the meantime, prep the rest of the ingredients by dicing up a carrot, mincing the garlic cloves, and also dicing a red onion. And finally, rinse your quinoa, then we can move over to the stove. On the stove, I have a Dutch oven, which I'm just heating up on high so that it's nice and hot. You can also use a deep pan or a wok for this. Drizzle in some olive oil and follow with the minced garlic and dried oregano. You can also use any type of herbs and seasonings you'd like here. Once that is fragrant, we're going to add in the ground turkey. This is extra lean ground turkey from Costco, and we're using the entire package. You want to start by breaking it up ever so slightly and let the bottom get nice and brown before you start mixing it around and breaking it into smaller pieces. Then using a potato masher, we're going to mash this into smaller and even pieces of ground meat. Then in goes the veggies. We have the carrots, red onion, and some frozen green peas. Give that a stir around and also add in the rinsed quinoa from earlier. Follow with all-purpose flour and season with salt and soy sauce. For the liquid, you can just use water if you don't have any broth or stock on hand, but I'm using some unsalted chicken broth just to add some extra flavor. Give that a mix around to make sure everything is well distributed. The lid goes on and we're going to let this come to a boil, then turn it down to medium heat and allow it to simmer for around 10 minutes until the liquid has become condensed. You can give this a stir every once in a while just to make sure nothing is burning on the bottom. Now we're going to go make the sweet potato and squash mash. The sweet potato and squash should be cooked at this point, and just test it by poking it with a fork, and if it's soft, that means it is. Take that off the heat, and we're gonna strain away the excess liquid and transfer everything into a clean bowl. You can rice this with a potato ricer if you like it to be really smooth and fine in texture, but I like it a little bit chunky for this, so I'll be mashing it by hand with a potato masher. While it's still warm, add in the salted butter, minced garlic, and a whole egg, and mix that until combined. The temperature of the sweet potato and squash should be at a point where it can melt the butter, but not cook the egg immediately. So try and find that sweet spot. Otherwise, you can just wait until everything's cool and mix in melted butter instead. And at this point, the turkey situation should be ready as well, so just take that off the heat too. Alright, to assemble the shepherd's pie, I have these little oven-safe dishes here. I'm making individual serving shepherd's pies, but if you'd like, you can just put it in one large casserole dish and bake it off all together. So evenly distribute the meat mixture into all of the small dishes. Pack that all down with the back of your spoon. And finally, top it off with the mashed sweet potato and squash. I like to distribute things with an ice cream scoop just for the sake of convenience, and then just spread it out using a spoon. And optionally, you can grate on some Parmesan cheese onto the top. Then just send this off into your preheated oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 Celsius for around 20 minutes or until the top is nice and golden brown. There you have your turkey shepherd's pie, where the meat filling is balanced out with a slight hint of sweetness from the sweet potato and squash on top. And I hope you too will take this opportunity to put squash in every single thing you cook this fall.